Hey, welcome to the Heaven and Hell Pro indicator by KryptoChristian. This is a little tutorial on how to use the indicator and some of the available options. Now, as you can see, this is already up and running, but for the sake of it, I always run with a dark background chart, but it doesn't really matter too much. So simply to add your indicator, you go to Indicators, invite only scripts. Once you've paid your chosen fee, then I will give you access to the indicator and you're ready to go and trade. It's as simple as that. So you just click here and it'll appear just here. Now, I don't need that because I created it. So I'm going to add the indicator here. And it'll take a little while to load up because it's quite a complex algorithm, and we'll dive into some settings that you'll need for different time frames, most notably the 15-minute, 1 hour time frame in order for it to load. So this is how it'll appear. As you can see, it's very simple looking. It gives you very obvious trades at the top here. However, we'll run through those and what all the lines are. So immediately from the face here of the actual chart itself, we see the green line and red line. These are the trend channels based on support and resistance. An excellent idea of what to trade in and what the market's doing with the higher highs and lower lows. As you can see, this is quite a clear dip. Down here we have what I like to call, trend direction, or the strength of the bulls and bears. And this basically sees how the candles sit below the price action channel. And you can ultimately use this for scalping, although that's not factored into this indicator so much. There are further options which we'll deep dive into now. As a quick one, this is not a repainting indicator. The only things that will repaint are the trend lines. However, once the actual signals are triggered, they will not repaint ever. So let's start off at the top. Here we have the start year, start month, and start day. This is important for the 15-minute and 1 hour time frame, because once we start to exceed further than a month or so for the 15-minute time frame, it will not be able to calculate and it won't appear. So keep it within a month of your present day for the 15-minute and within 6 months of the present day for the 1 hour. After that, for 4 hour and above, it will calculate perfectly for all time frames, for all charts. You have the option here. Let's just scan to the very front. This is what the up-to-date indicator will look like. You see these dotted lines, and that right there gives you the trend lines, which are here. You have two options, which is solid and dashed. It won't make a huge amount of difference. Dashed is the default because then it doesn't conflict too much with the trend channels. Next up, we can have also showing the broken trend lines. These are handy if you want to see just how strong the breakout is. But yeah, it can create a lot of noise on the chart, and if you don't want to have those on, as this is how we'll show here. As you can see, it immediately starts to get quite noisy on the chart. The other option for that one is to take these off and then just show the trend breakouts. And this is a much cleaner view of how it looks, of the actual candles that break out. And if you want to do some really aggressive trading, then you can start to exclusively use these. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd always look for further confluences. As you can see, breakouts here. And, if you're trading in a good trend direction, then I guess you can trade them. But like I said, the whole point of these signals up here is that they are based on further algorithms and much safer trades. So next up, you've got your basic high highs, lower lows, great for showing a snapshot of immediate trend direction and everything, but that's what the trend channels are for. Trend channels to be shown, you can operate these as support and resistance lines if you want even less noise on the chart, although I would advise to, generally I always trade with the trend channels. It keeps a much cleaner indication of what the market's doing, in my opinion. But there you go, that's what it looks like with just support and resistance lines. And then this is the trend channel breakout arrows. So every time the candles break out of the trend channels, it can give you an indication. There are alerts set up for both trend breakouts and also trend channel breakouts. Again, if you want to go into hyper aggressive trading, it can give you some great signals, although it will also develop as a reversal as well. So you have to be a bit careful. Although if you're an extremely confident trader and you know exactly what the market's doing, go for it by all means. And then finally, we have the heaven and hell signals. So heaven is the long trades, and hell, because you're going straight down, are the short trades. Akin to the namesake, not religious, but I thought it would be a bit of fun. Moving down further as well, we are moving into the realms of the trend direction. So in the background, you've noticed almost kind of like Cameroon flag-like colors in the background, but very, very simple. Green is trending up, red is trending down, and yellow is consolidation or no trend, I suppose. This is when the algorithm for the moving EMAs are neither here nor there, haven't fully crossed in any specific direction. So these are areas where, as you can see here, the market is reversing, which it obviously is. Obviously, these are lagging indicators, moving averages, that's going to happen. But then you can see here there is uncertainty, and then it continues up. So by no means is this gospel to whether it's going to reverse or anything like that at all. So there is an element of risk trading during these time periods. However, we will go back into the settings and see what else is on offer. Now, you can adjust algorithms for the actual indications are all set and will remain set as I have been trading with this for a very long time, and I find this the strongest algorithm for what I use. So they are non-customizable. What is customizable is the trend direction. So via changing these, the price action channel, the fast EMA and the medium EMA, this will ultimately affect the trend direction. If you want to be super aggressive and you want to know the trend direction immediately, then you can lower these down. If you are very, very long term, then increase them. You know, it's really as simple as that. Do a little bit of looking up into moving average strategies. This will reflect that pretty much exactly the same. Via crossovers, the slow EMA, it won't actually affect the background colors. That is purely for super long term. Now we can actually show the EMAs. I generally don't like them on because, well, you'll see why in a minute. With a chart that's already got a lot of color and a lot of stuff going on, sometimes you can be a little bit distracted from literally what the candles are actually doing, I find anyway. So here you go, you've got a basic kind of EMAs that are printed on the chart. For those of you who are super into your EMAs and everything like that, it's just nice to have those on there, and you don't have to worry about having a whole bunch up here. I don't like clutter, so it's handy to have it in there. But like I said, the background is reflecting exactly what these EMAs are doing. So in actual fact, you don't really need them on. Onto trend background color. If you don't like the colorful background, you can take that off. Trend candles. This is a nice feature that basically gives you an indication, a good snapshot indication of what the candles are doing. Why it essentially means that the candles are sitting within the price action channel. There is not a huge amount going on. It is not moving massively up or down, or it is simply passing through. Red candles, the bears are in charge. It is moving down. It is noticeably outside of the trend price action channel, and green, vice versa. So this can be used for scalping. Once pay attention to the strength, bulls and bears bar down at the bottom here. One of the ways that I look at doing a little bit of scalping, I don't do it much because I don't like it, is when we are in a upwards trend, general trend, we see our first kind of indication of a green on the trend direction.